Bible Pictionary with Mama. A line, a church, a little steeple with a bunch of clouds. God shot an arrow at a perpendicular angle down. Okay, here we go.
Okay, there's a fish, a whale, Jonah and the whale. Oh, it's a giant fish. Is it a whale? It's a big circle fish. It's a big fish. The only fish I can think of is Jonah and the whale. Oh, I thought I said that.
Oh, we got it. Okay, go. Circles, hairstyles, cats, lion, angry lion, lion with a lion's den. Daniel in the lion's den. Oh, hey! Fun fact about Daniel in the lion's den, or something Nita related about Daniel in the lion's den.
I love the fact that he was not afraid and that they were growly and scary and all creepy and everything, but he withstood. And because he was faithful in his prayer prior to, he found faithful during. So there's that.
Yeah. One of the things I love about that story that is very often completely overlooked is there's a moment in that story later on where it talks about the level of the hunger of the lions how they leaped up and got the guy before they ever hit the floor.
Right.
So when you think about the miracle of Daniel in the lion's den, it's not just, oh, they weren't hungry that night, which is what a lot of atheist people will say. Well, you got lucky. Somebody fed them. Mm-hmm. No, when the perpetrators who were behind the entire conspiracy were punished with the punishment that they had devised for Daniel, the conspirators were thrown in and they never even hit the floor.
Right.
So those were some hungry lions. It was a miracle. Don't strip the miracle of that story.
Right.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay.
Okay, it's Jesus, right? Jesus. Walking on water.
Yes! 21 seconds. Go. People going into a church, people going into a building, it's a library. God shot an arrow at a perpendicular angle down. We've wiped out the building. God wiped out the building. God wiped out the triangle. God is wiping out all the people. Oh, a submarine? No, not a submarine. A ziggurat. Is this a ziggurat? Is this a Tower of Babel ziggurat?
Tower of Babel.
Oh, Tower of Babel.
Tower.
And then you made the O, the F. Tower of Babel. If you ever get this at home, Tower of Babel. Look, stick figure. He is talking. Then the ziggurat. That's how to do that, except that's not a good ziggurat. When I think of the Tower of Babel, the thing that comes to my mind first and foremost, this is the fun part of that story. My father raised me to realize that the mixing of languages was a provisionary tactic. It was to preserve humanity. Because there's this moment that we read where when these people put their minds together to accomplish evil, whatever they imagine would be done, right? Can you imagine in this moment? Lots of people that read this, again, you're talking about the perspective that comes from being in a relationship with God after a while and realizing these moments that are provisionary that you didn't even think about.
Right.
And in that one, it's easy to go, well, God got mad and he said, I'm going to make it so that they can't go against me. And so I'm going to kibosh these people. But that is one way of looking at it that makes God kind of the lightning strike thrower of the story. Instead, imagine this. He looks down and he sees these people are going to accomplish mega evil if I allow this kind of communication to continue.
Right.
So I'm going to scatter them by mixing their languages. Not only in this moment, okay, do we have God deciding for us that we are not going to sabotage ourselves to the point of our own extinction, which if you read the first few books of the Old Testament, you see he's continuously saving us from our own extinction because of our own evil.
Right.
Not only that, but I think if, depending on the mainstream, the majority scholarly opinion, this is the moment where we ended up with diversity. This is why we have such a colorful world. Why not everybody has this kind of an outward appearance versus that kind of an outward appearance, this dialect versus this beautiful thing, and how those things spread into beautiful cultures. So you look at, for instance, Indian culture and those bright colors and those beautiful dresses that the ladies wear and all of that. That is like the most beautiful culture. I love the Irish culture. Can you imagine if we were all just one people right now? We wouldn't have that diversity. It's going to be fast. Ready?
Okay, here we go. And is it water into wine?
Yep. 13 seconds.
Finally, I get one.
A rectangle with grass growing out of it. A box, a commandment. Oh, I know this one. Joshua fought the battles of Jericho and the walls came tumbling down.
Go on.
30 seconds. Joshua fighting the battle of Jericho. I just love the shofar. I love what it means. I love what it stands for. I tend to think about them whenever I think peace, freedom, chains breaking free. What an expression of power using such a peaceful thing.
Yep.
I mean, because seriously, God could have said, I want you to go in there with swords. And I mean, he could have said, I want you to go in there with guns a-blazing. Here's this thing called a gun. But God did not do that. He said, go in with the shofar, go in with the horns and take it down peacefully. And it was an act of peace that was also an act of dominance. It was very cool. That story's neat.
Very strategic because it was daily. They would do and daily they would. And then on that last day, it was amazing. So yeah, it's a great story. I love it.
It is.
Very, very inspirational.
Very cool. Very cool. Oh my goodness.
Okay, platypus.
Wait.
It's a camel.
Okay.
Camel. It's an elephant.
Oh gosh.
There's a well. An eyeball. Okay. Camel eye through the needle.
Yes.
Okay.
Trying to draw somebody embroidering on an embroidery loop, but you kept thinking it was an elephant.
Well, if you had not erased it, you'd see what I'm talking about.
I did it so good. I did it so good. Camel, though.
But his nose looked to me like a duck.
It's a humped duck walking through the trunk of an elephant. In the 80s, there was this teaching that what that verse is really referring to was that culturally at the time in Israel, there was a gate. And it was called the needle. But the gate was very, very tiny. Water could trickle through, or waste from the city could trickle through, and it would thread through this little spot. What they were actually implying by this is that it would be difficult for a camel to get through the eye of the needle, meaning this small gate, but not impossible. Everybody's walking around teaching this thing and it's not even true. Come to find out, yeah, there was a certain gate, but that's not at all what was even being referenced in that verse. So that's what I think about when I think of the camel going through the eye of the needle. I think it means what we always thought it meant prior to the 1980s when the needle became a gate. I think it means we have a better chance of a literal camel going through the literal eye of a needle that you'd be pulling while you're doing embroidery, like the embroidery that I drew that you thought was an elephant trunk playing in the water.
Yeah.
I think that we have a better chance of that happening than for the person who has placed worldly goods, the love of money, the love of all things that are worldly above any kind of relationship to God, relationship with leading the lost to the loving Father, that sort of thing. I believe that's the concept that he meant.
Yeah. That's always been my concept too, just the literal meaning that it would be harder to put a camel through the eye of a little tiny needle, which is a pretty bold, pretty blatant illustration, because that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just always took it at its literal meaning.
Yeah. And you also have to understand the love of money is the root of all evil. And putting the love of, if you drop that, boy, it means something completely different. You got money, you're evil. No. You love money above all else. If you make that the love of your life, that becomes the root of the evil things you do. That's what that means. So we have to do this again sometime. Let us know in the comments what you thought of this fun little experiment. Thank you for joining us. We'll do more of these fun little experimental things soon. Stay tuned. Don't forget, I do have merchandise. Shop.donnahowellshow.com. Thank you for your support.